Okay, so for our class today, we will be talking about inequalities. When we talk about inequalities over here, we will be introducing these four new symbols over here. So this sign will be more than, this will be less than, this will be more or equal to, and this will be less or equal to. So by right now, you should be very familiar in writing equations. For example, like this. Okay, and you should know how to solve this already, right? You can subtract 4 by both sides, that will give you 2x is equals to 6. Divide 2 by both sides, you should get 3. Alright, that's your equation. But what if you are going to deal with a problem that looks like this? 2x plus 4, it's more than. Alright, 2x plus 4, it's more than 10. How do we solve this right now? Now, this thing over here, okay, just a quick recap. We call this an equation, right? We call this an equation. Alright, but this thing over here, we do not call this as equation anymore. We call it as an inequalities. Inequality. Okay? We call this as inequalities. But the way we solve this inequality will be the same as an equation. Alright? So all you need to do is to solve it as if it's an equation. So you can subtract 4 by both sides. So you will get 2x. The sign doesn't change. It remains the same. So subtract 4 by both sides. This minus 4, you should get 6. Divide 2 by both sides. You will get 3 over here, okay? The way you solve an equation and an inequality, it's the same, alright? Now my advice over here, I would like you, when you are solving any types of inequality question, I would like you to line up, okay, the inequality sign together, okay? You will know why, the reason I do that in my future video about inequalities, okay? But for now, just stick to it because it looks much more neat anyway, okay? Now, what does basically this means over here? The answer here basically is telling you x is more than 3. Now, what's the next nearest integer where x is more than 3? That's going to be 4, right? So, if we substitute over here 4, alright, so 2 times 4, that will give me 8. 8 plus 4, that will give me 12. So, 12 is definitely more than 10. Correct or not? So it makes sense. Okay? So that's basically what it means. Now we're going to try out on some questions over here so that you know more on the application of inequalities. Okay? Now over here, I have a question that this triangle perimeter is at least 50 centimeter. Okay? So I want you to write an inequality about this. Alright? Remember, an inequality looks like this, not like this. This is called an equation. An equal sign is an equation. If you see all this sign, alright, or the pointy sign, then it's called an inequalities. So I want to write an perimeter to express this. So I will add all the 3 sides. That's going to give me x plus 3. I will add that with x. And then I will add that with x plus 2. Okay? So let me change that color. X plus x plus 3, and then I plus with x plus 2. Okay? And I know all of this thing is going to be at least 50, so I'm going to write 50 down here. Okay? So what is the inequality sign that I have to put for at least? Okay? So for this one, the correct symbol to put for inequality sign is going to be this one. Ooh, no ink. It's going to be this one. Okay? So this sign over here means at least. Now, what does the word at least means? Alright? Now, if you think about a simple example, like if I were to ask a simple question, you must give me at least 2 sweets. So which means the minimum value that you can give me, it's 2. If you give me more, I'm okay with it as well. So that basically means by at least. So this sign represents that. So this means more or equal to. So equals to 50, that's my minimum value. But in the same time, it can be more than 50 as well. So this symbol here represents at least. Okay? Right now, so can we simplify this? So I can see there are like terms over here which I can add up. So that will give me 3x plus 5, and then the sign doesn't change, and that should equals to 50. Okay? 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 After that, since we have our inequality now, let's solve this right now. Okay? So again, we solve an inequality like any other equation. So we can just do this very quickly. So I have 3x plus 5, which is more or equals to 50. Okay? I can move the 5 over here. So that will give me 3x. It's more or equals to 45. Alright? And then I will have 3 to move. So I'll have 45 divided by 3. So that should give me x is more or equals to, let's see, okay, 15. Okay, so I have solved my inequalities over here. Now here comes the next question. Show the solution set. Now this over here will be a keyword on a number line. Alright, on a number line. Okay, so what do I have to do over here? I want to show this solution set on the number line. So all you need to do is to just draw out a number line, a simple number line. Okay. Now, what is the scale you choose is up to you, but the scale you choose must be equal. Now, what I mean by that, like since it's 15, I can choose, let us say 0, 5, 10, 15, and 20. Okay, if you choose a scale, it can be any scale you want, but the scale you chose, it must have equal spacing. Alright, that's what I mean. So since x is more or equals to 50, how are you going to describe this inequality on a number line? Alright, so very simple. This is x is more or equal to 15. Look at 15. Draw a circle over here. Okay, let's draw a circle over here first. And since it's pointing to the right, it's more than, so it's gonna have an arrow that is going to the right. Okay? Now there is one more thing I have to do over here. Now since it is more equal than, if we want to show this inequality on a number line, we should shade the circle as well. So to put this as a general summary for you all, if you want to show on a number line, right? If you want to show this on a number line to represent something like this, these two signs will be represented by a clear circle, while these two, okay, will be represented by a shaded circle, okay, by a shaded circle. Now, one way that is easy for me to remember is, you see over here, there are more lines, so it's shaded. Okay, that's how I remember it, lah. Okay. So that's how you do it. Please do not do like this. So some students might choose to do like 0, then 5, then 8, 9, then 12, 15, and then 17. Okay, don't do all these things. Okay, this is gonna be messy because you see in between the number there is no equal spacing. All right. So this is 5, that's 2, that's 3, and so on. Okay. So don't do that, okay? You can choose any scale of number you like as long they have equal spacing. Now another thing I want to emphasize over here is this line. Because the question described x is more equal to 15, it didn't say where this stop. So some students would like to draw the line like this. Okay? Now this is wrong because they did not say the line stops here. All right, the line actually goes until infinity. Okay, so that is actually what is happening. So my advice is draw the arrow until the end of the number line. That will be the best lah. So I have more examples over here. We are done with this. So I have more examples over here. So let's go through this very quickly. Show the solution set on the number line 8, x is more than -3. Again, I can just very quickly draw my number line. I can have -4, -3, -2, -1, and 0. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay, as long as they have equal spacing. So x is more than -3, so look at -3 on top, just draw a circle. And since this is more than, which is represented by a clear circle, and it's more than, so all you need to do is to draw the arrow to the right until the end of the number line. Okay, we are done with that. So the same thing over here. X is less than -2. I can draw my line again, my number line. So this time, let's just say I want to have 4, 2, 0, -2, -4, -6. Okay, this is just much more easier for me. So x is less or equal to -2. Just look at 2 on top of it. Just draw a circle. Since it is less or equal to, it is represented by a shaded circle. Okay, it's pointing to the left, so all you need to do is to go all the way to the left. Okay, now we are done with that. Now what about these two questions over here? Alright, x is a range between 0 to 7. Okay, so it's the same thing, just draw your number line out. Alright, so I have 0 to 7. So let's just say I chose -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now how do I do this? Now very simple, all you have to do is to look at the number 0, that's 0 over here. So on top of here, all you need to do is to draw a circle like that. Since it is less than, it's represented by a clear circle, and x is less or equals to 7, which is this one. Okay, so on top of 7, just draw another circle. But since this is less or equal to, it is represented by a shaded circle. And all you have to do is to just draw a line from one circle to the other. And then you have represent this inequality over here. Okay? So same for this. So -2 to -5. So I'm going to put my number line again. So I have -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So again, -2 on top, just a circle. It's less or equal to, so it's represented by a shaded circle. X is less than 5, it's going to be here, and it is represented by a clear circle. All you have to do now is to just connect the lines. And then we are done. Simple, okay? So now we are going to do the reverse process. I'm giving you this solution set on the number line, and you would be changing all these things to an inequality. So again, like very similar to this, x is a value that is representing this range over here. Okay, so basically, since it is above, since this circle, alright, is above 2 and it's pointing to the right hand side, so we know that the answer to this is just, I will just write on the line. So in this case, here it's gonna be x. X is more than 2. Okay? Since it's pointing to the right, it's going to be more than, alright? It's a clear circle, it's represented by more than. So same thing, now this is a shaded circle, so you know that it's going to be either these two, but since it's pointing to the left, so we know it's going to be this one, alright? So over here, very simple, this is going to be x is less or equals to 10, okay? And then we are done for this one. Alright, now what about this, okay? Very simple, all right, very simple. I'm going to show you a quick shortcut over here, But before that, let's understand how this works first before I do the shortcut. X over here is a range between -8, all right, between -8 to 0. So how do I write an inequality to represent this? So always there's going to be an X. So X is somewhere here, all right, I'll put in the middle. X is always less than 0, correct? No, it's always less than 0. So I'm going to write that down. It's always less than 0. But the range of X over here, it's always more than -8. All right, it's always more than -8. So how do I write that? In this case, I'm going to write like this. X is always more than -8. Okay? Now, I know that some of you might be thinking over here, isn't this less or equal to? How can that be more? Now over here, I'm going to just write some quick note over here. Alright, so what you say is true. X is supposed to be more or equals to -8. But this and this, alright, these two over here have the same meaning. Okay? It depends on where is the direction you're reading it. Like this one is X is more or equals to -8. If you read from right to left, it's -8 is less or equals to X. That's how you read it. Okay? So I hope that you can see. So basically what happened here and here is just you flip each other only. Alright? You're just flipping each other. Okay? So how we read this is X is less than 0. But in the same time, X is more or equals to -8. But the shortcut that I'm going to tell you is going to be very simple. When you see you want to write an inequality that consists of the type of question that looks like this, the equal sign is always going to be, the inequality sign is always going to be pointing towards the left, like this one. So straight away, actually, you can just write your answer as X. It's like this. It's always going to be pointing to the left. Now, since this is represented by a clear circle, so it's going to be this. This is represented by a shaded circle, so it's going to be like this. Simple. So over here, that's -3. So all you have to put is -3. And over here, that's 2. And then all you have to do is just to put 2. And then you are done. Simple. Okay? So that's the hack over here, right? Okay, so that's for inequalities. So I hope that by doing this example, you understand the basic concept of inequalities. That's all. Thank you.